User forms is mostly used to insert labels and text boxes and lists. So how do you do this? So on your toolbox, you'll see either label. Now a label is basically just text. So you're just going to change the caption to say, let's call it question 1. So it just describes what something will be doing. So I could do a very big label here if I want to. So in this case, I'm just going to add a text box, which is the next button. So a text box is something where you let a user either see information that's coming from Excel, or you let them insert information into this which goes to Excel. So it's either or. So this is my text box, and then you've got your list box. So a list box is the same as a text box. The difference is you see a list there which you generate from Excel, and then obviously you click on one of the options and you have to take the result somewhere. So here is where the definement of ranges becomes very important. So let's go to find some ranges, because in a text box you'll see something called control source. Now the list box also got something called control source. Now the control source means that is where the result will be going. So if I input anything in here, that is where the result will be. In which cell or which defined range will this result go stand. The same with a list box. I will see a list, which the list will generate from the row source, and the result, if I click on one of them, will go to the control source. So that's very important. So let's go to find some ranges. So in this one, I'm just going to say cell A. So there's a defined range there, and cell B there. So this is called cell A. This is called cell B. Then I'm going to create a list there. I'm going to call this list list A. So if I go to my formulas and my named ranges, you'll see all three of them are created. So these names I can use as part of my coding now. So my text box, I'm going to take the control source to cell A. Let's just go check it again. So there we are. My list box, I'm going to take the control to cell B. Just click anywhere to make sure it works. And then the row source, that's going to be my actual list. So let's just search for it at the bottom here. There we are. So this is list A. If I don't use the correct spelling, so if I use list, it's going to show me this error. Show doesn't work. So you have to make sure that you use the exact spelling of your defined name. So there's my range. So you can already see that the descriptions there is in there. So let's go see if I open this user form. You'll see this is now there. So if I type anything there, let's type the word text there. The moment when I'm going to click on the list, it's going to show in A1. So can you see there? So now everywhere I click on my list, can you see the result goes to the defined range I've selected. So if I close this, even if I change this names now to A, B, C, D, and E, if I open the user form now, can you see the new names will be in there? So that is your text boxes and that is your list boxes. You can also, if I just go back to this, you can also hide this, lock this. So on the text box at the bottom here, you can see locked. At this stage it's false. If I have it true, then I will not be able to change this information. So if I go back there and I want to delete it or anything, you are not able to do it. So that is more for information purposes if you are pulling information from Excel to a text box. Normally you would use it as an inputting form where you just input information and make sure that the users use the specific form. So it's sort of a way to make sure that the user always follows your program, and you don't have to tell somebody go to cell A1 and input this and this is the question. You make sure they understand exactly what you want them to do. So that's the labels, text box, and the list.